All right. Hello. Hello. Thank you to everyone who is joining us today. I do see that we have some participants with us today. So thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration Program for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolina Associations of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, also known as CACRAO, as well as StriveScan. So on behalf of everyone, thank y'all for joining us today. I do have some brief reminders for all of you before we go ahead and get started with our presentation. So you are able to ask our presenters questions at any time, and you can do that by using the Q&A button that's located at the bottom of your screen. We will have time at the end to answer all questions, so make sure to get those asked. And that can be using the Q&A button. And as a reminder to you all that your camera and microphone are currently off. So while you are able to see us as presenters, we unfortunately are not able to see you. So that's why that Q&A button is super, super important. And then also, this is just one of many sessions that is being hosted by CACRAO and StriveScan, so you're able to check out the full schedule of events at cacrao.org. And then finally, this recording will be available for you to view at a later time, as well as all of the sessions that have happened already and will happen within this next few weeks. And those are all available at cacrao.org. That is CACRAO.org. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our presenter, who has a really great and informative presentation for us about his institution.
Great, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Toby Tate, and I am the Transfer Admissions Counselor at Gardner-Webb University. I hope you're all doing well today. I just wanted to share a little quick presentation that I've got set for you, and then also some short videos about Gardner-Webb's campus and student life. And then I've also got a representative with me today from our DCP program, which is more of our online learning, that's going to share a little bit of generic information about that pathway as well. So to begin, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen so that we can get started on that presentation. All right, everybody should be seeing a presentation now. Let's get started. So Gardner-Webb, who are we? What do we stand for? All this information I'm sure you're dying to know. It's going to hopefully highlight every bit of it throughout this little short presentation I got put together. But to begin, going all in. So the statement "go all in" basically at Gardner-Webb means that we want to give 110%. It's to do everything that we can to the greatest potential that we have to do it in. It's really just striving for greatness. And in doing so, we have all kinds of ways that we like to go about doing that. The biggest foundation of Gardner-Webb and the way that we go all in is through this verse right here. It's Mark 12:29 through 31. The verse basically highlights that the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So those heart, soul, mind, and strength are the four pillars that really set the foundation of Gardner-Webb, who we are, how student life is, and everything that we represent. It's how we go about serving God and humanity, which is our motto as a university. So before I go into those four pillars and talk more about, student life and experience and things like that, let's talk about where we're at. So if you're not familiar with North and South Carolina, this is going to be a really good update. Or if you are, this is going to be a good refresher of kind of what is in the surrounding area of Gardner-Webb. So Bowling Springs, you see the little Gardner-Webb logo there, somewhat in the middle of those three major cities. We're a small town out in the western area of North Carolina, right there on that North and South Carolina line. We're about an hour away from Charlotte, Greenville, and Asheville, which are three major cities around us. All kinds of city life in Charlotte. Beautiful mountain areas of Asheville, tons to go and do. If there's not something in Bowling Springs that piques your interest, and there's all kinds of ways you can get involved right outside in your backyard. Within the closer ranges, we've got smaller towns, should I say, of Shelby, Gaffney, Hendersonville, and then some others spread out throughout the surrounding region. But those are about 15 to 20 minutes away from Gardner-Webb. And again, there's a lot to do in those places as well. I can tell you that Bowling Springs is a one stoplight town, so a very small town. Gardner-Webb makes up the majority of the town itself, but it does allow us to be kind of secluded from the outside community and have more of a campus-centered life, which is a big perk in a lot of situations. But there is a lot to do, should I say, in the town of Bowling Springs as far as getting involved. There's a lot of local churches. There are a ton of places to go eat on the main strip of town. I think we have like the world record for dollar stores. I want to be honest with you. I think there's like 4 dollar stores in Bowling Springs. But there's also necessary stuff like a grocery store and a minute clinic and things like that. We don't have a Walmart, we don't have a hospital, but Shelby does. And again, it's like 15 minutes away. So easy access right there. I will tell you the other areas of North and South Carolina that you see highlighted: Raleigh, Charleston, some of that eastern coastline, plenty of places to go and do all over the two states. And they're probably 3 to 5 hours away, depending on which one you go to and where you go. But again, that's kind of the location of where we're at. Now we'll get started on the 4 pillars that I talked about. So to begin, the heart. The heart is the passion, it's the community, it's the involvement, it's student activities, it's all of that, and how we represent as a university. So we've got over 60 clubs and organizations that you can get involved in, stuff from academics to athletics to, I mean, really anything you can think of. If there isn't a club that's there and you can make one, it's really easy to get one started. It's just a great opportunity for you to get involved and meet friends, or, you know, hang out with people that you have things, similarities to. So, I mean, for example, chess club, rock climbing club, those are just 2. I mean, there's so many more. I'll also highlight that there's many activities as far as student activities go. There's 5 of them shown here, but I can tell you that there is a whole lot more as far as what we do throughout the year. Out of these 5, the 2 that I like to talk about the most, Pancake Bingo and the Big E. So Pancake Bingo is basically it's a de-stressor where we have students come together in the cafeteria and during finals week, in the afternoon of finals week, and they basically go in there and they eat pancakes and they play bingo and they drink chocolate milk. But they don't just do this for a t-shirt or anything like that. They do it for flat screen TVs, Xboxes, music speakers, really, really big prizes. So a lot of fun. We call it a de-stressor, but it's a little bit stressful because everybody wants to win. But again, it's a lot of fun. The second one, the Big E. So if you're familiar with the region of where Gardner-Webb is, you've probably heard of the Big E. It's a multi-entertainment complex in Gaffney. So again, about 15 minutes away. They've got movie theater, bowling, laser tag, arcade games, all kinds of stuff to do. And basically what we do is rent it out one night a month. So usually on like a Friday or Saturday night, student activities will rent the entire building out, and they give out tickets to Gardner-Webb students to go down there and hang out and just do their own thing. You know, again, hang out with friends, make new friends, just stay involved with that Gardner-Webb community and what really resembles the heart of Gardner-Webb. So moving forward from that, the second pillar. So the second pillar is the soul. The soul is it's the Christian heritage. It's the faith. It's the foundation of what Gardner-Webb was founded upon, because we are a private Christian institution. We are Baptist affiliated. That does not necessarily mean that you have to be a Baptist or have to be a Christian or have to be this, that, and the other to thrive at Gardner-Webb and to grow. There's all kinds of opportunities in all sorts of ways that you can get involved in this aspect. If you are wanting to grow in your faith, there's mission trips, there are community involvements, there is clubs and organizations you can get a part of, service stuff. There is Old and New Testament classes, which all students are actually required to take while they're at Gardner-Webb. But it's not a preach it down your throat kind of class. It's more of a educational class that teaches you the history of the Bible. There's also a dimensions course that you'll take while you're here, and it's a whole lot of fun. It's like a short 45-minute seminar course, but again, it's a lot of fun. But all kinds of ways that you can get involved as far as your faith and really grow in that aspect if you desire to be. So that's the second pillar. Now, the third, and getting involved on campus as far as academics go, because the mind is why you're coming to school. It's so you can come to school, get an education, get a degree, get a job, and have a successful life, because you know you're coming to college so that you can get that piece of paper, so that you can go make some more paper and have a great career, but not only make a lot of money, have a very happy life, because you want to pursue what you're going to be happy doing. And in doing that, let's talk a little bit about the academics. So you'll see there at the bottom, there's some little circles, and those are actually highlighting our colleges of distinction. Nursing, education, and business have distinctions in the previous academic school year. And in saying that, I would say those are probably our top 3 majors by far. I'm a little bit biased to business because I was a business major myself, but we've got a great nursing program. So right there on that left-hand side, you'll see the 100% BSN Nclex pass rate. And basically what that means is that in the past 5 years, not a single one of our nursing students has failed the Nclex test, which is the North Carolina licensure to get your registered nursing license. Our students are phenomenal. Our faculty in that department are phenomenal. They really help our students to prepare themselves for that testing. And you're going to be successful. A Gardner-Webb nurse is always successful. Now, across the board, as far as these 3 colleges and the many others that we have to offer, I think we're actually nearing 70 majors right now. So all kinds of stuff across the board that you can get, you can choose from as far as your major. Do not think you're limited whatsoever. but we do have a 13-to-1 student faculty ratio. In saying that, that is the reason why that we are such a great college for one-on-one time for successful students, just because they're going to get that mentorship with a professor. You're going to be in a classroom, and this is a pre-COVID number, which I know that's something in today's time we have to look at. Before, we were averaging 13 students, so some classes would have 20, some classes would have 5 or 10. I know personally, my last business class, my business strategy course, it only had like 5 students in it. So again, a lot of one-on-one time with the professor. You get to know their name, they get to know yours, they know when you miss class. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But on the bright side of that, they're there for you. And I'll highlight that a little more as we go through. But the last little statistic there, that 94%, that's the number of that's the percentage of graduates that are either employed or in advanced degree programs, whether it be grad school or whatever, it's within 6 months. So you're going to be successful. We've got an awesome Center for Personal and Professional Development that I'll highlight in a minute about how they are there to help you out in so many ways. So more about the mind. So let's talk about what you have at your fingertips to actually use at Gardner-Webb as far as technology and stuff to utilize. So this picture is one of our business school students who actually works at Gardner-Webb now. I went to school with him, and he is in what we call the biz box. So this is a study room in our business school that's got stuff like whiteboard tables, MacBook computers, all kinds of up-to-date stuff, just to use at your fingertips to really help you learn and to do great. So that's awesome opportunity that you're going to have. Now, this is another great picture that highlights that, the hands-on, the awesome technology. A couple things in this picture, actually. One, the hands-on activity. So you're getting to be hands-on. You're not going to have to be in an auditorium with 500 students and just listen all the time. You're actually going to get to do things, which is a lot of fun. The state-of-the-art technology you're seeing in this picture is across the board. As you can probably see, this is actually our PA school, but this is stuff that we have all across the board. It's not just in PA school. This is actually a digital human cadaver that you can interact with and do things like that on the medical side. Really, really great piece of technology. Lastly, on this picture, you can also see that there's a lot of one-on-one time here. You see maybe 5 students in the picture if you look closely, and 1 professor. And again, that's what it's going to be like in every classroom setting. You're going to have a select group of friends probably in that classroom because, again, you're all going to know each other, and you're all going to help each other out with projects and with questions and with homework. And the professor is going to be there to help out with all those things as well because they're going to know you. Now, last thing on the mind, as far as the one-on-one time goes, this is a little short story about this guy. He had chemistry class. He was failing chemistry class like, a lot of students do. Chemistry is not an easy course by no means. But in that aspect, he had help. So he went to the professor and he basically told him, hey, I got to have one-on-one time. I got to figure something out. I got to pass this class. And he went with him and he did some tutoring sessions. They did a lot of one-on-one time and he ended up passing the class, long story short. Coolest thing about this is that the professors don't necessarily have office hours. They do, but you're not limited to that because our professors, again, are their mentors. They're like family. They'll say, hey, if it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon, even if I'm at home, shoot me a text or a call and I'll try to help you answer that homework problem. They'll say, hey, why don't you and 2 other students get together and drive over to my house and we'll have a little sit down study time and my wife will cook dinner for you. I know that sounds a little bit outrageous, but it's actually happened in the past. I mean, they're really there for you on that scale. So that's definitely something that's a perk. Now, a little bit more on the academic front, internships and research. And there's also clinicals as well. So if you're a nursing student, you're going to have clinicals. But on every other major, there's an internship or research project tied into your major as a graduation requirement. So it allows you to get your foot in the door. It allows you to start really growing on that career side of things. Now, that partnership with the Center for Personal and Professional Development, that's the one I was talking about earlier that really helps you as far as getting your foot in the door places, getting you developed as a professional. They'll help you get your internship stuff matched up. They'll help you get your resume built, do headshots, do mock interviews, all kinds of stuff. They're really great over there. They help out in lots of ways. They're even a good resource to use after college. So if you graduate and you're looking to go into this field and you just don't have the connections because you don't know who to talk to about that, they do. They know who to go to. So definitely stay in touch with them. Now, study abroad. So we do have a study abroad program. We've got a lot of partnerships in the European region. We've also got some stuff in the Central American region. We had a group go to Costa Rica a couple years back, I want to say. I think they spent like a summer down there doing their normal classwork and things like that, just studying the culture. And just because they went to Costa Rica and they had to be so heavily involved in the Hispanic culture and speaking Spanish and things like that, they actually got a Spanish credit just for going on that trip. just because if you think about it, they're going to have to speak Spanish in order to order food and things like that. So all kinds of opportunities arise when you look into studying abroad. A good example of this, I actually know two of the people in this picture personally. One of them is an admissions counselor and one of them works on our marketing team. But this was their class when they attended Gardner-Webb a couple of years back. They went to Florence, Italy. They went as an art class to study art for the summer, which they said is one of the biggest highlights of their college career in general. They said that this trip was amazing. It was a lot of fun and full of memories. So again, don't limit yourself. When you come to Gardner-Webb, know that you're going to succeed, know that we're going to plug you where we need to plug you, and really pursue everything that you can. Stay involved, do everything academically that you can. And if you want to travel, because the opportunity is going to be there. In light of COVID, we all pray that this is not going to last long and that within the upcoming year, everything's going to be back to normal. That's obviously the wish of the entire world right now. But moving forward, the fourth pillar, the strength. This is athletics, obviously. So it's your God-given ability to be an athlete. And even if you're not a Division I athlete, be athletic in some capacity. So we have 22 Division I teams. We are a Division I college. We are part of the Big South Conference, which means we play, Winthrop, High Point, Campbell, a couple other schools locally. We play a lot of other schools. We also play some outside of conference matches. So this was a really big one from a couple years back. We played NC State, which is a huge name college for North Carolina. If you don't know Gardner-Webb, you probably know NC State just because it's one of the largest schools in North Carolina. But a lot of fun. This was a huge stadium, a huge game for us. Getting to go out and cheer our team on and see them play against teams like this is a lot of fun. Now, one of the biggest things that's happened to Gardner-Webb athletics here recently is the championship win that we got last year. So men's basketball went and won the Big South Championship, which was a huge deal for Gardner-Webb history. I do believe it was the first time that basketball has actually done that, or at least it may be the first time in a very long time. But huge deal. A couple things about this little short story. I know a couple of guys in this picture. I went to school with them. And the coolest part about that is that even if you're not an athlete, being part of the campus life, you're going to get to know the athletes. You're going to get to know them by their first names. You're going to get to know them in the classroom. It's not just going to be like, hey, I know number 30 out there on the basketball court. I actually know number 30 because, we have classes together, which is really cool. But great basketball team, great athletics across the board in general. This is actually a good point to highlight as well. We do have a swim team, so that's something that we have inside those 22 Division I teams that we do have. But the coolest thing about the swim team is I want to say it was in the past year, our women's swim team, I'm not sure if it was just in the Big South Conference or in a certain division, I'm not 100% sure on that, but they had the highest GPA for an athletic team. So that's something to keep in mind is that they are student athletes first, and we want them to succeed academically and athletically. But to say that they have the highest grade point average is a huge deal. I'll also highlight while I'm on this slide, if you're not a Division I athlete but you like to be athletic, we've got intramural sports that you can do. So all sorts of ways you can get involved there. And we've also got CrossFit. CrossFit's a lot of fun. It's very difficult. I've done it before, but it's a great exercise. So those are also things you can get involved in while you're on campus. So that's the 4 pillars. That's Gardner-Webb. Now let's talk about you. Let's talk about transfer students and what they have to do as far as getting into Gardner-Webb. It's very easy. Apply transcripts. That's it. Go online, apply. You can go through the Common App if you need to. The Gpa requirement is a 2.0 minimal. So again, some students are going to have close to that range. We can obviously work on that. We can obviously talk on that. So always feel free to contact me with stuff like that. But again, minimum GPA is a 2.0. Apply online, send those transcripts in. We have rolling admissions, which just means that the application is always open. So especially for this upcoming fall semester, definitely get on there and get that done. Now, if you do have questions about things like articulation and getting to know what classes are going to transfer in, there is a transfer credit equivalency calculator of sorts on the website. If you follow that little link there through the website, search transfer credit, click on the link, it'll take you to that page and you can kind of get an idea of what classes will transfer if you're nervous about any of them that you're not sure about. If you're wanting to know what for sure will transfer, just send us those transcripts. It takes us a couple of days, registrar looks over them, and we actually have you an official evaluation and an admissions decision just like that. I mean, you'll know within a week. So that's the easiest part about it. Now, scholarships. Again, Gardner-Webb, private Christian school. It's not a state school, which means that, the money is going to be a little bit different in that aspect, but there is a lot of scholarship opportunity. So as for transfer students, you can get up to $12,000 a year in just merit-based scholarship. So just off your grades, you're going to get that, just some portion of that money. There's a scale that you fall into and you'll get a portion of that money. There's also athletic scholarship. There are miscellaneous scholarships like marching band and all kinds of stuff really across the board. I know that they're opened up all kinds of new scholarships like church matching, where if you're part of a church and they want to say, hey, we'll give you $1,000, then actual Gardner-Webb will actually match that $1,000 and give you another $1,000. Minister dependent scholarships. If you are taking advantage of our new transfer opportunity scholarship, it basically highlights that if you're transferring from another four-year institution whatsoever and coming to Gardner-Webb, then we're offering a special scholarship for that as well. Lastly, on the whole transferring thing, my contact information is at the bottom there. Again, my name is Toby Tate. There's my email, my phone number and stuff you can get off of the website as well. Always feel free to reach out to me with any questions, whether it be about applying, whether it be after you've applied and you're accepted and so on. I'm your admissions counselor. I'm here to help. Anything you need, absolutely, I'm always here. And very last in this little presentation I've got for you, we want you to follow us on social media because there's all sorts of the ways that you can go all in even before you're a Bulldog. That at Future Dog tag you see right there, definitely look on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. We don't have a Snapchat. We do have a TikTok and it's a lot of fun. So definitely follow us on there. But that's the presentation. That's Gardner-Webb. I've also got some short videos I'd like to share with you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment and see about pulling those up. Give me just a second here. All right, so this one here is just a little quick 1-minute campus tour that we're going to share. And I'd like for you to just be able to kind of get an idea of what campus looks like. We do have an online virtual tour that you can actually click through and really get more and more detail about what campus has to offer if you're not getting the opportunity to come on board and come see us. But we'd love for that to happen. We'd love for you to come on campus and see our campus. But again, here's a little short video that I'll show you of around campus.
Hey, Toby, it appears that you're muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you for stepping in there. I completely did not realize I had muted myself. But again, like I was saying, I'll kind of reiterate, we want you on campus. We want you to see campus. If you can't, definitely look at that tour. Definitely go online and do the little visit, the virtual visit. But now I'm going to show you another video about Gardner-Webb. So take a look at this one. There we go. All right. So that was the residence halls. That there's all kinds of housing options on campus that you can choose from as far as that goes. There's a lot of other great dining options on campus that I didn't really get to mention a lot about. We've got Cantina 1905, which is like a Tex-Mex, kind of like a Moe's place. We've got a Subconnect, which is like a Subway. There's a Chick-fil-A on campus. We actually have a guy that we hire to come out and make fresh sushi every day. Let's see, what else is it? There's the cafeteria, obviously, which is the biggest one. I didn't even mention it first. All kinds of opportunities in the CAF as far as, or availabilities as far as food goes, and choices there every single day. And outside of campus too, there's a lot on the main street. Like I said, there's a lot of food options. Things like Italian Garden, Taco Bell, McDonald's. There's a place called Hoshi. It's like the best Japanese restaurant around. I promise you that. But yeah, that's Gardner-Webb. That's the traditional undergraduate pathway as far as coming in as a transfer student, and a little bit about campus life. I'd like to take a minute and just pass it over to my representative from the DCP, which is the Degree Completion Program. She's going to just share a little bit about online learning and what opportunities there are there. So go ahead and take it away.
Hello, my name's Christina Moore, and I work with the Degree Completion Program here at Gardner-Webb. And we're going to talk a moment about some of the digital or non-traditional options that we do offer here with Gardner-Webb. There are a number of majors available. I know a lot of you listening are probably already being awarded associate degrees and 2 years of college. Many folks are in early college now and have that completed before they finish high school. And some of you may be non-traditional students to begin with, and you may be working and going to school at the same time. And so whatever your situation is, we want to communicate that Gardner-Webb, regardless of which option you go with, so many things that Toby talked about are still the same. The quality of the education, there is not a difference there. There is a difference in the delivery, but certainly the quality is there. The experience of being on campus is not always for everybody. And so, so if you are considering a non-traditional approach or an online program, we do offer majors in accounting. We offer business administration, Christian ministry major as well. And so for those who may be thinking about ministry or seminary down the road, that's something to think about. Computer information systems is within our business school. So you get a business degree and then also that information system side as well. That can be a really powerful combination. Criminal justice is offered here. And so elementary education, and yes, we do that online. And so even your student teaching, all of these things have an online element. We offer elementary as well as birth to kindergarten education. Healthcare management is within our business school. As Toby mentioned, is very strong, our School of Business. And so healthcare management is another option and a very popular one right now as healthcare is growing rapidly. Human services. And also I want to talk a little bit about our School of Nursing. We offer an option where folks come on campus and do a traditional 4-year BSN. Sometimes instead of that, we do offer an associate degree, Associate of Science in Nursing here. So our nursing school goes all the way from the Associate of Science to the doctorate and all the stuff in between. And so there is an option if you complete nursing through a community college or other program and want to come back, complete your BSN and go on through digital learning to get a master's degree in nursing, many different options within nursing. But so for some who come and spend the first 2 years on our campus as traditional nursing students, they continue on after that. They graduate with that associate and then continue on for usually about another year, and then they have the bachelor's degree in nursing. And so there are just a lot of options here. I'll talk a little bit about our graduate school as well. Gardner-Webb is a great option if you're thinking about graduate study down the road, and a lot of early college students, I think, already have in mind, I want to be a nurse practitioner. I want to be, a licensed professional counselor, something like that. And so there are graduate options here in English, counseling, certainly, nursing. a number of different options with our grad school there, and our grad school offers many different, and I'll not get into every detail, but many different options online. And then some hybrid programs where you're on campus some and online some in grad school. And so, of course, there's an MBA program through that stellar business school that Toby talked about studying within. There's an MBA. We have a traditional, like a 2-year program and a 10-month program as well. And so just letting you know that down the road, there are a number of education all the way up to the doctorate. We have a divinity school here. Again, if you're thinking about ministry, seminary, divinity school, keep us in mind for that. And so, so that gives you a little bit of an idea, but I want to give you a phone number as well to call. My name again is Christina Moore. And depending on any of us can help you, we're all happy to help. But I'll give you a phone number to call us and an email to write to us if you want more information. We hope you do. And I think there's an awful lot that we've got to offer you'll want to check into. 866-498-4625. That's 866-498-4625. That's our phone number here. And of course, you can email at DCP, like Degree Completion Program, DCP at Gardner, Gardner, -Webb, 2Bs.edu. But again, we'll be happy to help with financial aid options, whatever questions that you may have about how to get enrolled. The application process is very simple. We keep it as straightforward as we can, and we try to get admission decisions to you within a very short time. And so with that, is there anything further, Toby, that I can share that you know of that maybe I didn't think of?
I think the only other thing that maybe to mention about the DCP program is just the way, if you can share this information, or just a generic point of how the finances are a little different, because it isn't looked at in the same tuition base, because it is a by credit hour more of a program. I would share on that a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We try to keep our digital programs as affordable as we can, and we offer good financial aid options as well. But it's true that the tuition structure and the financial aid structure are a little bit different. So if you're a non-traditional student and you just Google Gardner-Webb tuition, sometimes that can be misleading, because you may be looking at traditional undergraduate tuition and also financial aid within that. So anytime you Google tuition, you remember what you're really looking for is your bottom line cost, like what's going to come out of your pocket or out of your parents' pocket, or how can we finance this, or that kind of thing. And so whether it's a traditional or non-traditional path that you're considering, remember that, the DCP program is very affordable. Sometimes a traditional undergraduate can be too, because of the wonderful scholarship opportunities that are available there, not just federal aid, but many different options. And so before any school, before assuming, okay, that's too expensive, I just simply can't do it, remember, contact somebody, talk about your individual situation, because sometimes at a less expensive school, your bottom line cost may actually be more. It just depends on how you come out. But yes, degree completion program is an affordable option for a lot of folks that are in a non-traditional situation, or again, if you're already in early college and have already saved that bit of money and are looking to move forward in a very affordable way, the degree completion program may just be for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for stepping in and just sharing that information with them about DCP. It means a whole lot. I'm glad everybody gets to hear both sides of that. I also wanted to share, I probably should have shared earlier about a little more contact information for myself. Again, Toby Tate, I'll give you my phone number. It is 704-406-2171. Again, it's 704-406-2171. And my email is ttate1, so like T as in Tom, so ttate1 at gardner-webb.edu. In regards to that, that's Gardner-Webb. That's what we have to share with you today. I hope it was a lot of helpful information. I do want to open up the floor. I see we've got some participants in here just for a minute or two to see if y'all have any questions. Just pop those in the Q&A down there at the bottom, and I'll hopefully be able to answer anything that you have for me. So again, I'm gonna go quiet for just a minute. Y'all throw those questions in there and I'll be watching. Absolutely. So I will actually type the answer in the Q&A as well, but I'll share it vocally just in case somebody doesn't have or is having technical issues and can't get to that. My email is ttate1, so T as in Tom, T again as in Tom, ATE, so ttate1 at Gardner-Webb.edu. And again, it's web with 2 B's, but I'll also type that in there, so you'll have that. Great question. Any more questions?
I'll mention too, Toby, that if you happen to call Toby and really need me, or call me and need Toby, we pass people back and forth all the time. So
Absolutely.
it really doesn't matter which one you call or who you call here. We're not a big outfit, as Toby mentioned, and so we're not a big impersonal machine. So if you need somebody, usually anybody here would be happy to help you get going in the right direction.
Absolutely. It doesn't look like we're getting a lot more questions in. I'll definitely keep my eye on that as I close out. But kind of to conclude things, again, we really hope that you enjoyed that. We really hope there's a lot of great information. Definitely stay in tune with us all over that social media. Stay on our website. Stay in touch with us as far as a counselor goes. We'll get you connected with the right person. We got all kinds of on-campus events and stuff you can attend, all kinds of visit opportunities. But, definitely keep Gardner-Webb in your mind. We're happy you're here. Thank you again so much. And again, I guess I'll go ahead and just pass it back to the facilitator that we have with us today, because it appears there's not any more questions. And thank you again.
Awesome. Thank y'all both for such an incredible and informative presentation. I know I learned a lot about Gardner-Webb University, so I'm sure that our participants also learned a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out for today. I'm going to share my screen really quickly and just give y'all those closing announcements. So thank y'all so much for joining us today. Thank you to our panelists, our presenters today for your time and for your presentation. And thank you to our participants. We had a really great turnout today, so thank y'all so much for that. Once you close out this window, it will take you to a very quick 4-question survey. And we would appreciate any feedback that y'all are able to provide. And then as an additional reminder, this is just one of many sessions that are happening as part of this virtual college exploration program. And the full schedule of events is available at CACRAO.org. And then finally, this recording will be available for you to view at a later time. That will also be at CACRAO.org. And we encourage you to visit that website just to see all the recordings that we have available. So that's it for today, y'all. Thank y'all so much for your time and your engagement today. I hope that y'all have a wonderful rest of your day and see y'all next time.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye, y'all.